This is wild, man. At least somebody appears to understand the assignment when it comes to Caitlin Clark. Somebody gets it. And the WNBA doesn't seem to get it, but international play, FIBA for the Olympics, seem to understand and respect the gravity and the greatness that Caitlin Clark brings and the cachet. FIBA has gone all in on using Caitlin Clark to promote the Olympics, to promote international play. Meanwhile, the WNBA has gone all out on promoting Caitlin Clark, and it's been really weird and odd. We got to get as Olympians speak out against WNBA for the handling of Caitlin Clark. I mean, damn, how bad do it got to be to where you got former Olympians coming out and speaking out about this?
Caitlin Clark has just added another milestone to WNBA history, delivering a performance no player had ever produced before. She erupted for 45 points and 10 assists in a single game, becoming the first athlete in league history to reach that exact combination. Yet despite the historic achievement, the WNBA's main social media accounts barely acknowledged it. At the very same time, FIBA has been placing Clark at the center of its Women's Basketball World Cup promotion. That contrast alone raises a much bigger question about how different organizations are choosing to showcase one of basketball's biggest stars.
FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup. Okay, and you see who they have here front and center. This is a while ago. This is in May. They were already using Caitlin Clark to promote here. Okay, they were already posting videos here of Caitlin. Okay, hold on. They was already using Caitlin Clark. Boom, making passes. They were already promoting Caitlin. Look, I mean, they were already promoting.
This isn't just a minor difference in publicity. It's two basketball organizations looking at the exact same player and reaching completely different conclusions about her importance. One clearly sees her as the face capable of attracting new audiences, while the other appears surprisingly restrained in highlighting her accomplishments. What makes the situation even more striking is the timing. These opposite approaches aren't separated by months or years, they're unfolding during the very same stretch of the season, making the contrast difficult to ignore.
Unbelievable, 45 points, 10 assists, dominant performance. How is this the first 40-10 we've ever seen in the WNBA? Like, we're not talking first this season, we're talking first ever 40-10 night in the WNBA, 40 points, 10 assists. Now, just for reference, there were 5 NBA players who did it this season. Luka, Jokic, Shea, Emmanuel Quickley, and Kate Cunningham. Caitlin Clark is literally doing things the league has never seen. Like, I'm shocked this is the first one that's ever happened, but the W has never seen this.
Before diving deeper into the details, it's worth recognizing just how unusual this situation really is. In professional sports, a domestic league is typically the first to promote its brightest star because that player's popularity directly benefits the league itself. That's the standard business model across virtually every major sport. The organization that owns the league usually has the strongest incentive to celebrate record-breaking performances and maximize public attention. In this case, however, the opposite appears to be happening, and once you examine the circumstances more closely, the WNBA's approach becomes a subject of growing discussion.
45-10. Can I interest you in that? From now on, Caitlin Clark, that's how you shoot. That's how you motherfucking shoot. 11 for 18, 6 of 10 for 3, clutch 3 after clutch 3, after everybody been on her fucking back. She came back and showed y'all she's the motherfucking one. Excuse my language, but I gotta say it because she ain't gonna say it, so I'll say it for her. Balled out tonight. Even when people are out there shooting shots when they should have been shooting the ball in the fourth quarter, she had 16 points and she was hot. Led the comeback, down 6 in the fourth. Play after play, 16 points, 3 assists.
So they trying to downplay Caitlin Clark's 45 performance by saying the Seattle Storm is the worst team in the league. The same Seattle Storm that beat Bricklayer Reese by 15 points. The same Seattle Storm team that beat the New York Liberty. Fuck out of here. We don't want to hear that bullshit. And we didn't have Aaliyah Boston either, man. Remember last season when y'all celebrated Bricklayer Reese getting a triple-double versus the Connecticut Sun that had the worst record in the league at the time? And y'all celebrated like it was Game 7 of the fucking finals, man? Fuck out of here.
WNBA seems to be so jealous and bitter that they are leaning out. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's interesting how international the world seems to get it, but the main league that she's in just doesn't get it. Really, really odd stuff. Really, really odd.
Clark checks in to her first. Caitlin Clark doing her best. Chelsea Gray in front.
Might even happen.
See here standing in front of us, and the TISO MVP of the tournament is none other than Miss Caitlin Clark. It's undeniable the impact she's made on women's basketball, and here in Puerto Rico had quite the showing. Her debut with the senior team, the double-double with both points and assists. And in her senior debut, she wins TISO MVP at the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup qualifying tournament here in Puerto Rico.
It on the floor. The FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup 2026 runs in Berlin from September 4th through the 13th. Team USA is chasing their 12th championship title, and they're doing it with Clark now established as a key piece of the backcourt rotation alongside Plum, Young, and other national team regulars. If FIBA's current promotional approach is any indication of what's coming, expect her face to be front and center in nearly every piece of marketing tied to this tournament between now and September, from ticket sale graphics to broadcast promos to the merchandise they'll be selling courtside in Berlin. Meanwhile, back home, the WNBA is left with a much harder question to answer, and it's not going away on its own. How do you explain to your own fan base that an outside federation, operating on a different continent, running a tournament your league has no direct stake in, values your best players' marketability more than you do? You can't market your way out of that gap with a quiet press release or a delayed social post after the criticism starts trending. Either the league starts treating Clark's achievements with the attention they actually deserve on a consistent basis, or it keeps handing that advantage to everyone else who's willing to do the job it won't. Right now, FIBA is more than happy to pick up the slack, and every week the WNBA stays quiet, that gap just gets wider.